Right, welcome to Lego Beltz. So this is a web-based puzzle game that was originally available as part of the Lego Club service. So it's a Shockwave game. It was released in 2003, created by The Planet, which is the same studio that made Pepper Skateboard Challenge, which is the previous game that we played. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, yeah.
They also made a game called 4x4 Extreme Rally, and they also made Lego Dreams. So interestingly, someone has uploaded video of Lego Dreams, but there's no video of Lego Beltz on the internet at all. There isn't even. I couldn't even find screenshots of the game, so I knew that we had to play through it.
That's pretty insane, because I clearly remember this game.
Oh yeah, I remember playing it.
I want to say, we once took a trip to Washington, D.C. I guess we were staying at some family friend's house, and we just sat there at night playing this game. I remember very clearly.
I can imagine that, because it's a web-based, so you just open it up anywhere.
Exactly. Now,
ironically, old web games are the hardest to get running these days.
Yeah, that's true. Like, how were you able to run this?
Oof, it was difficult. So, first off, I had to use an older version of Shockwave. It doesn't work with the newer versions. I had to use Shockwave version 8, and then I had to patch it with some updated extras. So extras are like plugins for Shockwave, which itself is a plugin. The Shockwave is a little bit crazy, but I had to patch it with updated versions of the Flash Asset plugin, the Animated GIF Asset plugin, and the Animated GIF Options.
Oh my god!
And then that's the first part. Then I had to get a browser that supported proxy settings, and then you have to set it so that the Lego domain is proxied to localhost. And the reason why you do that is to trick the game into thinking that it's being played on Lego.com. And then finally, you need to serve the game in a web server that supports the proxy host name in GET requests. So not all web servers work. So I had to get all those things working, and then finally, the game started.
Oh my god! I'm not gonna lie. I'm technically a comp sci major, but I understood maybe 15% of the words you said there. That's actually ridiculous.
Yeah, it was a little bit silly. Anyways, so what we're looking at here is this is actually the tutorial levels. So they're pretty basic. So you have these belts, and then you can with a Z, of course, and you've got left, right, and then stop. And then you have to pick the right thing to send the block into the right box. So far, this is pretty simple. And these are just the tutorial levels.
Mm-hmm.
The game gets really, really hard really, really quickly. And you'll see once we start the first actual level, I actually get stuck on it for a while.
Oh my god.
And then this is just, in this video, I just do... Oh, so this is post-commentary. Again, because it's a puzzle game, I figured that I would record gameplay first and then edit out, a bunch of extra tries. So there's at least an hour's worth of failed attempts in this. And this video is just me doing the beginner difficulty. And then I think there were 5 levels of difficulty or something. We'll see the menu again at some point. So this was just the first level of difficulty. And I already it took me some time.
Yeah, this is actually insane. There's just so many moving parts, so many things going around.
Yeah. Yeah, it very quickly gets pretty crazy.
Also, this kind of reminds me of, do you know that one Lego programming game with, the little block, the recycling bot that has to go and hit the recycling bins or something?
Junkbot?
Junkbot, there you go.
Yeah, it was another Lego web game. Not the same studio, though, but it was another puzzle game that quickly got, if I remember correctly, there were some hard levels in that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But this game, though, the difficulty curve is, insane. It just right away. I mean, I don't even know what the harder levels are like, if just the easy one was insane.
Just a little faster. Okay.
Yeah, so one of the things that you can do is you can basically make the belt go faster by double clicking on a side. So you can do fast to the left or fast to the right. So the thing about this game is that it's actually kind of an interesting concept, and you'll see once we get to stuff, but it's a puzzle game that also requires reflexes.
Oh,
so
yeah.
when you look at like a level, you need to one, come up with a strategy, and then two, execute that strategy really well. And there are only a few games that I've played that have like that similar sort of thing. Maybe like I think the one game that I really played a lot, which had a similar sort of flow, was Anomaly.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, I was like, wait a second. Yeah, you're missing something.
Yeah, it's easy now watching, but like, you know, when you're playing, there's like blocks coming in, there's blocks constantly coming in, and you're like, holy shit. Oh, that went to the wrong one. Once again, this is just the tutorial.
This green guy. No.
Ooh.
Okay, yeah, this game is freaking insane. Holy crap. This is actually... Wow. Okay. Looks like you're starting to get the hang of things here. Oh.
There we go.
Dang, that was close. That's hard. Wow. It's like playing... Have you ever played StarCraft before?
Yeah, I was actually just gonna say that the other game that I can think of that has that sort of same thing is StarCraft, but I haven't played much of StarCraft, so that's just me guessing based on what I've heard.
I was watching a video by a personality in the scene named Day9, and he was talking about, you know, like, StarCraft is designed to not be played optimally because there's just so many dang things that are going on. It's impossible to keep track of everything, right? Especially in the first StarCraft game, Brood War, where there's just, you know, there's so many things going on at the same time, and they make it a little bit easier in the second StarCraft game. But you know, part of like the appeal of StarCraft, his argument was, is this like the fantasy of like being a commander, you know, and like having control of everything, and being able to do this and that and everything, and you know, playing optimally and stuff. So yeah, StarCraft's like a really interesting game, like if you look at it from that perspective. Like, even just ignoring the competitive aspect, which itself is amazing, obviously, but just like from a game design standpoint, like the pure like strategy that's involved, like the managing, the micromanaging, it's actually insane if you think about it.
Oh yeah, I don't think I could ever play StarCraft. There's just too much of stuff. Like, yeah, I mean, again, like you need to have really good like planning, and you need to have good reflexes.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you can tell I'm struggling to keep up.
Yeah.
Once
well,
again,
actually, you're not doing that bad of a job right now. Yeah, you've already only got 2 left. So these are still the tutorial levels, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. It's part of building T.
Ooh, that's
you'll
close.
see the little names, but there's building T, and then building A is the is level 1 basically.
Okay, makes sense. How did you even find this game again?
Okay, here we are, the first actual level of the game.
Okay.
Oh yeah, once again, I got this game from the Biomedia Project Lego game pack. So you can see, like, I'm trying to figure out how to get those blue blocks in, and meanwhile the green block is just like, you know, going into the wrong place.
Oh, they can stack?
Yeah, but they fall one by one once you start the belt.
You're screwed.
Yeah.
God, there's just so many things happening.
Yeah, this one I've given up.
Well, you might be able to.
Oh, let's see if I can get all these green ones.
Oh, wait, you have to do 30 blocks?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
And I only have one mistake left.
Oh, that's close. Man, you lost too many bricks, Z.
So after this time, I think like I tried to like look for a strategy where basically I would need to do the minimum amount of like switches required.
Oh, comp sci major, make it happen.
Well, I actually totally like initially I picked the wrong strategy. What I was thinking was that like I would try to make it so that all I have to do is sort things at the top. And then they would fall into the right place once sorted at the top. Actually, I'm not sure if I apply that strategy here, but maybe in the next failed attempt.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what you're doing here, but. Uh-oh. Oh, did you just give up? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, here, okay. I try to basically just like sort things at the top,
Okay.
which doesn't go so well.
Uh-oh. I'm not sure what would be your ideal like sorting?
I guess you would make it so that like all green and yellow go down to the right, and then all blue go down to the left.
Okay. I mean that's not a terrible idea.
Well, there is an issue which I realized after this attempt, which is that like if you try to sort things at the top, you just don't have enough reaction time to be able to.
Oh
like,
yeah, that's
correctly do
true.
things. So in actuality, my strategy was exactly incorrect, and the reverse strategy was the best strategy, which was to sort things at the end and then basically like wrap or like snake the bricks so that you give yourself enough time to react until they get to the bottom where you actually decide where they need to go.
What do you mean by snake the bricks?
Have them go, you have this top thing, have them go left and then right and then left and then right.
Oh, okay. Clever. I would be interested to see your actual successful attempt because this just looks impossible, honestly.
One thing that I learned after doing this is that every level has a hint. I don't know how helpful this hint is though.
Where to split the blue bricks from the rest?
No, I already messed up.
Reaction times? Oh shit. Okay. It's going. See, now there's actually space in between them, which is nice, right?
Yeah, I've given myself enough time to react, basically.
Yeah. The only thing is, unfortunately, you have to have it all on the slowest thing, right? Otherwise, it's just too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, actually, okay, this makes a lot of sense, yeah. Because now you can also look like 3 or 4 blocks in advance and to see like what your next move should be. Because actually, if you want to, you can turn on the fast block here or something.
Yeah, I think a good strategy would be make the last block the fast, so that you can quickly get them out of the way and then get ready for the next one to come in.
Yeah.
Make the last 2 ones fast, basically. But I decided to play it slow because there seems to be enough space in between the blocks that you can get away with that. Yeah. I think on later levels, I have to use the fast block at some point because they just come in too fast. So you have to like quickly get them out onto the right spot and then be ready for the next one to be in like a different direction.
This game is ridiculously hard. Man. Okay, yeah, but this definitely makes sense to like what you're doing. I mean, obviously it does, but yeah, even this strategy could mess up if you're not careful.
Yeah.
Like at the end, you almost got tripped over. Wow. Perfect bonus. That was that for
not losing any bricks.
Yeah.
So that's how like the strategy like is really important because even though my reflexes didn't suddenly get better, I went from like dropping tons of bricks to losing nothing with the right strategy.
That's absolutely true.
I believe here I tried to do the same thing where I tried to snake the bricks just to give me enough time.
I don't think that's gonna work out though, is it?
Yeah, they're coming pretty fast.
Nope.
Oh, yeah, at that point just... Oh, yeah, actually at this point I probably should have played through the tutorial, but at this point I discovered that you can jumble bricks by clicking on them. And then
you were actually doing that earlier.
You can't once you jumble a brick, there's like a timer. And then you can't jumble for like a second or something, so you can't just like keep like, clicking on the brick.
You can actually turn on the fast block. Well, you could have turned on the fast block for the bottom right, because it's always gonna face right.
Oh yeah, actually. That's a good point.
Like popping.
Yeah, see, this is a tough
Oh,
situation. You can't do anything when you get something like that, other than try to jumble the yellow
yeah,
brick.
that's tough. Uh, oh, okay. Yeah, I guess if you're smart about the jumbles, you might be able to.
Oh, there we
Nice.
go. We got that green out of the way.
Yeah, that's. So the
Now
jumbling
we're
is
good
probably the
because we only need two
reflex.
more.
I wonder if the optimal strategy you could do it without jumbling.
I think it might be possible, especially if you use the fast blocks.
Uh-huh. Uh-oh, Fast and Furious. Think fast. What's the strategy here? Snaking? Really?
If I think I make the bottom block at full speed, or not actually. Yeah, actually,
Yeah, this is not something's
I
not
think the
right
bottom
here.
block needs to be at full speed.
Hmm. Hint. Oh, what? Okay. I don't think that was very useful, but okay.
Yeah, it says don't get too hasty, but in fact you got to get hasty.
Uh-huh.
Oof.
Uh-oh.
Well, uh,
Give up.
yeah, retry.
So it's the bottom block you have to make fast?
Yeah, I suspect that's what I end up doing. Hopefully,
Uh-huh.
I don't know how many retries it's gonna take for me to get that strategy. Nope, nope, nope.
Man, why is this so freaking hard?
Oh, there we go.
Okay, yeah, okay. Is that enough, though? That's the question.
I think so. It goes pretty fast, so you should have enough time for the next block.
Oh,
Basically.
okay, yeah, I see. Only this game had keyboard shortcuts.
Oh yeah. Actually, that'd be pretty interesting.
I see, right, though. This is like a puzzle game with reflexes, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy. You don't really see a lot of those too much. I feel like some of them are like... Do you remember playing through the Portal co-op campaign?
Yeah,
Me,
I do.
Wrap me round. Yikes. But yeah, I feel like a lot of those puzzles, especially like... You know, puzzles where you have to use like the fast goo or whatever.
Yeah, I remember a few puzzles that required timing and reflexes. There was one where you had to have like something sliding down like a slope, and you had to do something like timed along with the thing sliding down the slope. I think it would break like a laser or something. So there was that, and then there was the final puzzle. Sorry, what?
There's some like box flying stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What's the strategy here? The optimal strategy.
I think what I end up doing is like making it so that everything. Actually, it's almost exactly the same as the Fast and Furious level. What I do is I put everything on. So this is a wrapped conveyor belt, right? Which means that stuff that goes in one direction comes out the other side of the screen. So if you think about it, this is actually the same as the previous level. So what I do is I put everything onto the optimal strategy is to put everything onto the wrapped conveyor belt, and then super speed that either right or left to get it right if it's yellow, and then left if it's blue.
That's so... Oh, that's tough. Because, I mean, they're coming on both sides, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually... I don't know if... You control the wrapping belt by clicking its controls on the left side. Okay, that's true.
Yeah, so it's one belt, so controlling on one side controls the other.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I missed one right there. And whoops.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, once you miss one, it's like you like
you're
get like
playing
a
catch
chain
up
of
the
sort of
entire
mistakes.
time.
Yeah. But I think I got the right strategy.
Also, do you see these blue things on the bottom? Like instead of green light, it's blue light.
Yeah.
Is that meaningful or just?
That means you can't change the direction, basically.
Oh, okay.
It's fixed.
Yeah, I see blue. Uh, Man, this is so. Ugh. These some like close calls here. At least now you can. It's like a nice rest. I wonder if it's random or if it's like the order is like given.
It's the same every time.
It's the same every time.
Yeah, that's what I've
Interesting.
noticed.
Okay, it looks like you figured it out here. Damn, these are actually some really creative levels.
Yeah, and this is just the beginner, so I don't
Uh-huh.
even know what's in the other levels. I don't know if we're gonna do more levels though.
Maybe, maybe not.
Depends on how well the video does.
Technically, that's toxic. Technically. Oh god. I don't know. My work is starting to pile up too. I'm in this. Green. I'm working on this like independent research stuff, and there's like a deadline on November 1st, and we're like not close to the deadline at all. It's pretty suboptimal, actually. Oh boy.
Let's see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It's very important to keep track of the green and blue bricks. Z. Wait, why did they cause all the trouble? I guess because they're at the very ends or something.
Yeah, because they basically have to be. They may have to be transported across to the other side.
And they have to be sorted. They have to be sorted by the time you get to the middle step because
Yeah.
you lost too many bricks. If you send a green guy to the right, he's never going to be able to get back to the left or whatever.
Yeah.
So what's the optimal allocation here?
I forget actually. I'm not sure if there was like an easy strategy to use. I think I just had to basically like have
Reinforce
really
it.
good reflexes.
Oh man. I guess that is something though. Perfect reflexes technically can make up for like a lack of strategy.
If you had basically two people playing, then this game would be like feasible.
Yeah.
Because you can each have like one person like track a brick.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm in a bad state.
Jumble?
That's what I should do. I think I just gave up there.
Gave up. I mean that makes sense. Like you might as well cut your losses. Okay, that was close. That was close.
And what am I gonna do? I should jump with that red brick.
Ooh. Wait, you might actually finish this one. Oh god, okay, that green brick. Oh. Man, these are close calls.
Oh no!
It's okay, you still got
Jumble
one.
it.
Okay,
Oh.
now these greens.
Oh man.
Oh my god, that's tough. That's so tough.
It's tough watching the mouse like flail around. It's like, oh no, go look at the other thing. You're missing something.
Oh man. Hey, did you hear about do you remember the Trine games?
Yeah.
They're making a Trine 4.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's coming up for Switch. Not that you care
Trine
about
3
gaming.
had some issues.
Yeah.
It was like incomplete. I don't know if have you seen Trine 3?
I think we actually own it, right? We played a little
Yeah, it's basically like
freaky.
yeah, it's kind of an incomplete collection of levels, and they have you replay levels to do like side missions in order to progress to the next level, because they just didn't have enough levels.
Yeah, that kind of suboptimal for sure.
The games are pretty insane though. It's crazy that like indie studios are able to
Yeah, that's
put
true. Like it looks
create
really
that
good, and like the
level of
gameplay
detail
is like
on that.
pretty fun too. Okay, I guess the strat here is to the second to lowest level goes on double speed.
Yeah, I think that's what I end up doing.
Strat.
Let's see if I make this one. Nope. Right, get that red down. Nope, no. Okay, there we go. Jumble that.
Could have actually left that one though, but
Okay, there
oh,
we
that
go.
was close. Oh,
There we go.
oh, dang! I wasn't even paying attention. I guess at some point you just stop looking at the count, right? You just try to do as many as you can, like as much as you can before the next
Yeah.
boss or whatever. All right, what's next? Beehive. All of 4 outlets. Okay. Okay, so it looks like red has to be sorted in the middle. That's fine. Uh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Great start. What's the hit? All the belts are facing the right direction from the start. What is that supposed to mean?
I'm not sure actually. I'm not sure if I think when I read this, I thought it meant that maybe that the same color always comes out of the same outlet, but I don't think that's true actually.
Yeah, no, for sure. I guess at least the bottom 2 ones, the bottom 2 rows should be easy. But those are already set in whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe what they want you to do is to like have those the second layer from the top, have those ones point inwards instead of outwards. But I don't know
yeah.
if that
So
really helps.
I think that might be what I end up doing, where I try to use the middle to sort things.
Yeah. Okay, you got some momentum. Yeah, so this way you're kind of only looking at like the middle 2 rows. You don't have to worry about like the top or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a pretty good system here. Yellow jumble? Strats? Oh no, you might have to. I'm not
Just
sure.
keep
yet.
jumbling it.
It looks like it's not going anywhere though. Uh-oh. Problem is like you miss one and then like all your momentum's gone, you know?
Yeah, because you try to fix that one block and then you ignore the
Exactly.
new blocks that are coming in. Here we go.
It's like understanding, like trying to listen to a Spanish sentence. I don't know if you remember taking Spanish in high school or college, but when you're listening to like a foreign language, you try to like listen for every word. But then you get stuck on a word, and then suddenly they're like already like a sentence or ahead, and you're still stuck on that word. And you just keep
Yeah,
following.
I think I know what you're saying.
Wait, this one's interesting because less work, it appears. Okay, this is pretty tough. Yeah, that middle row being like all blue or all double, that's rough. Ooh. Alright, what's the did you look at the hint already?
Yeah, here I'm looking for the hint.
Yeah.
It's not very useful.
Oh yeah, that's pretty useless. I guess you have to like sort on the middle.
Yeah, you basically have to sort on the middle, and then the red bricks need to go into the right spot as well.
Yeah,
Although
that's
the
tough.
red can go at the middle level, the red can go either way.
Either way, but it's probably easier if you send all the reds to one way.
Possibly. This one I already messed up that blue brick.
Yeah. Oh boy.
You can only lose 2, so
Uh-huh.
extra hard.
I'm curious to see your solution here. How, or I guess however you did it. You might have to have the middle layer on top speed. I think if you put the middle layer on top speed, then you only have to control the middle layer and then one of the bottom two. Like if you consistently said then one.
That was a close save right there.
That was real close. If you consistently said red to one side. Oh God. At least that'll be the way I would do it. I think is try to like push red to one side, so that way I only sort the middle layer and then one of the two bottom layers, but not both. But I think the middle layer might need to be on speed, although I mean I can't really be certain.
I think what I did end up doing was I only changed direction of the middle layer if I see a block that's blue or yellow, so I don't change direction for red. Because I think the way that the pattern is designed is such that...
that you'll be able to fix the reds as they come?
Yeah, that you don't need to change the middle layer that often.
Okay.
If you follow that strategy.
Okay, I buy it. Oh yeah, I see what you're doing now. Oh.
That point. Oh, got jumbled.
Oh, jumble?
Go.
The strats? Dang, that was actually pretty hype, not gonna lie. At the very end there. High-level decisions. Uh-oh. So there must be some sort of sorting here, then. At least I think this one's a little bit more simple, or more straightforward, I think. But this one might require more mechanics in terms of like being quick on the changes.
Yeah.
You'll need to make fast decisions. Good one. I wonder if this one... I think you might need to take more advantage of speed in general. Like the speedier, whatever they are, the conveyor belts. Because that gives you more time to react at the top.
Yeah, I believe maybe I used that. I forget what I did. The next level is the hardest.
Really?
But I do remember this one being fairly difficult as well. Took quite a few tries. I hope I did that out. The video says 13 minutes left, and there's only 3 levels, so I thought I edited it out as any sort of reasonable amount of issues. If not, maybe I'll cut the final video down, but
it should be. I mean, I'm sure it'll be fine. If you're really into Lego Beltz, this is your golden ticket.
The only video that exists on the internet.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Literally, so you're telling me literally no one has recorded themselves playing this?
Someone has recorded a video of the intro, which was that sort of slideshow at the beginning of the game. Yeah. I know why they only did the intro, because basically, so this is a Shockwave game, but the intro is a flash game, is like a flash file.
Oh, okay.
So you can just open it up separately and then just see the intro.
That makes sense.
It's interesting, actually. That's one of the things. I mean, I'm skeptical that we will ever find a good way to preserve flash games and then make them playable again. And if I'm skeptical about Flash, I'm even more skeptical about Shockwave, because, in fact, many Shockwave games use Flash assets. So, if you think about it, Shockwave is basically a harder problem than Flash, because it includes Flash.
That's kind of sad if you think about it. All this, it's like art, Obviously, very simplistic kids game art, but, all these people put, hard work into this.
And it's just completely lost.
Yeah.
I mean, I do have some ideas. I think the best way, to preserve Flash games is, so the Flash games actually, so there's some Shockwave games in the Lego game pack that are just EXEs, and then you can just double click on them and they work, and they work really well.
Sorry, what is this Lego game pack again?
That's from the Biomedia project. It's just like a zip with a bunch of archived versions of the Lego games. and they've tried their best to basically try and preserve them and download all the appropriate files. So the Shockwave files are all available. Running them is not always so easy, but for some of them, like so if you're a developer making a Shockwave game, Shockwave has this thing called Projector, which basically takes a Shockwave file and then turns it into an exe. There's the same thing for Flash, and then these files work without the browser or any sort of install. So these just work. In fact, Pepper's Skateboard Challenge, which was available as like a projected exe, that just works. So you can just double click. The issue is that some games, like especially those that have multiple Shockwave files, and also those that interact with the web page and stuff like that, or like make web requests, as well as those that have copy protection, those don't work. So the way you have to do it is you have to replicate the browser environment, the browser and server environment that the games require. So this one had copy protection, which is why the browser had to support proxy settings, and you have to set the proxy such that Lego.com proxies to your local host, so that it thinks it's running on Lego.com. So
that's super annoying.
My opinion is like, so the Projector games, they work. They're actually preserved quite well. And I think like they'll probably be playable forever. And then when Windows doesn't support them anymore, which will happen, you'll be able to run them on a virtual machine. So that is probably like the best case scenario. So, well, for games that don't have that, I think like the best case for preservation is to reverse engineer the games just enough to disable the copy protection. And in fact, that's what people are doing for Flash, actually. There's like a project, I forget what it's called, but they're basically hacking the games just enough to disable the copy protection, and then like having playing the Flash files. The issue though is that Shockwave reverse engineering, like the amount of information available is pretty limited compared to Flash, because there were so many Flash games, and then of that maybe like less than like a tenth of the number of that would be like the number of Shockwave games. So the reality is more effort has been put into Flash reverse engineering. I'm hopeful that eventually there will be like tools for like reverse engineering the games, and then all you need to do is just edit some code in the files to be able to disable whatever check they're doing, like copy protection.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Are people like motivated enough about Flash games to be able to like look into that kind of stuff?
Flash, yes. Shockwave, no.
Shockwave, no.
That's the thing.
Oh man.
Because it's more obscure. And Shockwave has just got more things going on. Because Shockwave, like I mentioned, the Shockwave core doesn't have that much stuff, and then most of the stuff is in the extras, which are like plugins for Shockwave. So a lot of games just don't even run, and they're like missing an extra, and then you have to go find you have to find the extra somewhere on the internet and then patch it in. So it's like extra complicated. I mean, one thing that I was thinking is that like,
oh wow, nice.
Oh, there we go. Level completed. One thing that I was thinking is that like for a game like Backlot, which can't be turned into an exe, like you could just like create a virtual machine and then just distribute the virtual machine on forums and then have people play on the virtual machine. And I know it sounds excessive because you're creating like maybe like a potentially like an entire, you're basically creating an entire virtual computer just so that someone can play Backlot, but it's 2018, and then we can we can get away with excessive disk space. So I think that's probably the best that we can get without having to reverse engineer games, is to create
virtual machines.
Yeah, just distribute virtual machines.
Makes sense.
It'd be better than having like all this like ad hoc instructions where like you try them and then they don't work and then things break. Just send like a virtual machine file and then load it up in VMware or VirtualBox and then play the game.
This is a tough one. Be on the outlook for green and red bricks that have to cross. Okay, that makes sense. What is the difference between hint and game tip?
Game tips are like global, like across the game.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, that was a digression about Shockwave.
That makes an interesting discussion, honestly, because it's like a vital part about gaming history, and especially like online gaming history, right?
Yeah.
Like you can make a reasonable argument that all the like mobile apps that we see today and all this like mobile games and stuff, like they definitely had a lot of like inspiration from these like Shockwave Flash games, right?
Yeah, yeah, they do. The Holy Grail, like I think I mentioned, the Holy Grail is basically like someone would rewrite rewrite Flash and then make it open source, so that you can like, you have like an open source Flash thing that can be compiled for any platform and run any game. So a full basically reimplementation of Flash, and that's what some people are trying to do. There's Lightspark, Shumway, and Nash. But none of those projects, like, I don't think that will ever happen because Flash is just too complicated. Over the years, Flash has like added like so many like features and so many different things, and they've kind of added it with like an ad hoc approach. And there's no single document where you can go and read, okay, this is all the APIs that are in Flash and this is how they should behave. So there's no specification for Flash. So I don't think that's
like hastily put together.
Yeah, because it's a commercial product, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't think that it will ever be. I don't think that we'll ever have something like that. The best case is the virtual machine, or like getting like or hacking the games and then exporting them to a projector. And then when the projectors don't work anymore, running the projector in a virtual machine.
Yeah.
The interesting thing though is that like, I think that web games now, like HTML5 games, will be around for forever. For a couple reasons. One is that the specification is open, so there's actually a document where you can go and read and then it says like exactly all the APIs that you need to implement in order to perfectly replicate the web game. So that's one part of it. There's like a full specification that someone can go and read. The second part of it is that there's multiple open source implementations of the game APIs, of the HTML5 media APIs, essentially. So there's not only an open source implementation, but there's multiple, that there's several of them. So it will always be possible to, go and grab that old code and then compile it for the new platform and then run the old games.
45 minutes later, you're kidding me.
Yeah, this level took me a while.
Wow. Oh boy. What's the strat now?
I think I just had to like play it a bunch and then get better at it.
Yeah, okay, I definitely see it's a lot more clean this time. Dang, that was a clean jumble there.
I think, okay, yeah, I remember what I did. So I basically, like, at some point, I started using the... One thing that I haven't used previously is I haven't been using the stop. What that does is it stops just for a few seconds, which is useful, but it can also be a problem because, the bricks pile up.
Yeah.
But I started using that, and I just keep jumbling, basically. So I kind of, like, cheese the game a little bit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There we go.
Wow. Dang.
I honestly think that they probably should have made that strategy, they should have tried to remove that strategy. So you can't just stop and then keep jumbling. They should move stop entirely, and then they should make it so that once you hit a direction, it takes a few seconds before you can hit the other direction, so you can't just juggle in place.
Oh god, this is scary.
So this level is actually interesting, and it kind of feels like a little bit sort of, it applies a little bit to computer science. So my idea when explaining this level is that like the intuitive approach for the strategy is that you have to make it so that you only have to flick one switch in order to get the blocks into the right place, because every block comes with like two colors. So here I'm like pause buffering so that I can like
pause buffering. Oh my god.
So I can look ahead. So another thing that I didn't mention is that when you pause the game, you actually have a few seconds where you can't interact and the blocks go. So pausing is actually not necessarily the best strategy, because it actually makes it harder to do things. But in this case, I have enough time. I can wait for the sort of delay, and then quickly go and then hit the things that I need to.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. Oh.
So the idea, the computer science idea here is that you have a 2-bit value, which represents 4 colors, right? And then you need to compress it to a 1-bit value, so that all you have to do is flick one switch, and then in the middle. So that was my sort of computer science interpretation.
Actually, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. So you set it up so you only have to make one decision.
Yeah.
All right, well, there you have it. That's building A. Hope you all enjoyed this. We might do this again. We might not. My first morph. Okay, that looks.
Yeah,
is this
you can already see
supposed to be a
there's
sneak
some.
peek for the next time? Wow.
Yeah, there's some new machines. You can see that there's a ton of stuff in this game. They also have like suction tubes that transport you to like another place. I saw that there's like lasers or something. So there's definitely a lot of stuff in this game that we could continue to explore.
That's actually pretty insane. All right, well, thank you all anyways, and see you around sometime.